Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are diving into the three incredible powerful methods in JavaScript: the call, apply, and bind method. These methods gives us the explicit control over this keyword, and once you master them, you will have a superpower when it comes to function invocation and the context management. If you are new here, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell because we are building a comprehensive JavaScript course from zero to advanced. So let's jump right in. The first question is, the first topic is the problem. Before we learn about call, apply, and the bind, let's understand why we need them. Suppose we have an object const person. Okay, in this person there is a first name like John, then the last name will be Joy, and then there's a function get full name, and in this function, suppose like that. Okay, and this function execute, they return something, this dot first name and this dot last name. Okay, when we console log it, the person dot get full name. Okay, get full name. Then what we get? We actually get the John Doe, right? This is the answer. These work perfectly fine. But what if we have another person object and we want to reuse this get full name function? Suppose think about this one. First, another person, then again the first name will be Jenny and last name will be Smith, Jenny Smith. So how do we use the person dot get full name for the another person? Okay, so for this in this case, just putting it here. Okay, actually we need a way to borrow the function and tell it to use another person, this another person as this. Okay, this means this keyword. That's exactly what call the what call apply and bind do. Okay, so for this case, the first method we check, this is the call method. The call method allow us to invoke a function with a specific this value. Okay, the syntax actually look like this. The function dot call, then the first parameter will be this argument. Okay, second is argument 1, third is argument 2, and then so on. Okay, this one. This is the actual syntax. So let's see it in action. Okay, we have a person already, right? We have a person. We also have another person. So we also have another person. Just now we borrow something here. Cost result equal person dot get full name. Then call this call method. Get full name. Then this call method. Then calling the another person. Okay. Okay. Open your terminal. I think we didn't console log yet. So console log the result, then open your terminal and run. Okay, there is a showing the Jenny undefined. Why? You see, I did mistake. It should be a lowercase, right? Because it must be similar. So the use case, okay, now, yeah, it's working. You see, when we use any binding with the call method, it's working properly fine with this new object. The new person object. Okay, and this is good. We what we did here, we just borrow the get full name function and explicit the set with this call, this keyword, and this keyword to another person. With the help of call methods. Okay, so okay, Also, if we want to use with the parameter, we can also do the same thing here. Just in that case, we need to parameter pass here 1 or 2 3. Okay, but in our case there is no parameter. That's why we didn't use any parameter here. Okay, great. Now the second method is apply method. The apply method is almost identical to call with the one key difference. It takes argument as an array. Okay, we are initially what we did here. We just the syntax actually look like this, but for the apply, the syntax will be look like this. Okay, args array. Okay, this one. So suppose we already have a person, right? Here we already have a person. Just comment it for now. We already have a function. Check this. Here we did with the parameter. With this introduce with the two parameter. Okay, and then what we do here just cost intro person dot introduce dot apply. Okay, now we're using the apply. First argument is another person. Then we using the array. In this array, first argument will be the age 28, and second argument is city. So suppose New York. Okay, so console log intro. Okay, check this. You see, 28 years old from New York, because we already use like this way, right? I hope this is clear, right? The Now the question is when to use apply. Apply is particularly useful when you already have arguments in an array. Like example, check this code. Okay, you see, with the math.max and dot apply, initial value is null and the argument is numbers. You get the maximum number. But this is the old way. Not exactly old way, but you can say the old way, because after the speed operator comes up, it is much cleaner than this one, right? Just using the three dots and number and you get the exact result. Okay, so remember, call method actually the argument pass the individually. In apply, argument pass as an array, right? We already see the syntax. This is the syntax. This is argument pass as an array, and here the individually. Okay, next is the bind method. This is interesting. Okay, now here is where things get really interesting. That the bind doesn't invoke the function immediately. Instead, it return a new function with this parameter. This permanently bound to the specific value. I mean, we actually use this syntax, the normal syntax. This one, just copy this and use it. Okay, but here the thing is bind. Okay, and in this bind, what we do? Just exactly the same thing we are applying here. Copy this one, copy this to one. Okay, now call it bind. And the important things is when we call this the result, we actually get the how do we get Jenny Smith, right? Our actual name, the first name and last name, and this is permanently bond. Remember, this is permanently bond. You can change it after that. Okay, so in the real world example, if I say with the event handler, like just think this is a super useful with the event handler, like this one. Check this one. Okay, this one is really interesting. There is a user. In this user, with bind, lose the context. Remember, button dot add event listener. Just this is a little bit advanced. Just remember the button dot add event listener. When the button is clicked, the user dot grid. I mean, this would be undefined without bind, because there is no these are available here. That's it. And with the bind, we are using the bind dot user. We actually get the actual context. Okay, we also know this topic, the upcoming advanced tutorial. So don't worry, we will cover up in details. So okay, let me show you all three together. You can see the difference clearly. This is the calculator, right? In this calculator, there is a number and calculate function. In this function, return the dis dot number, right? Plus a plus b. Store the number object with the new calculator and invoke the call. I mean, call method invoke immediately an individual argument, right? Calculator, and the calculate function call with the call method. What we get? 18. I mean 108, because of the this new call is the another object, and 5 and 3 is the value. I mean the argument. With the apply, this is also invoke immediately, but with an array. I mean the array of argument. Okay, almost similar, just individual and array. With the bind, actually it's return a new function. Check. When you use the bind, actually it's similar to look like the call, but this is binding. When we call this function, we actually get the result, but actually it's return the function. Okay. Okay. Anyway, so common use case. The first is the functioning borrowing, and this functioning borrowing we already tested. We already know how to functioning borrowing. You see, there is a two array, and we are using the prototype array dot prototype dot push dot apply. What is the prototype? We have a separate chapter for this, so don't worry. Just remember array dot prototype dot push then apply, and in this apply we are passing the two argument, and when we are passing the two argument we actually get the result. But did you see something? We passing all, but we are just console log the first array, and we get the all the array of elements together. I mean it's merged. Okay. Second is finding the max min. This one. This one is max apply and max min. So we actually get the score, the minimum value and the maximum value. Also, the creating the bond method. Okay. You see, in this bond method, the modules have a get x function, and we are console log this, and initially we just invoke it. We just call this function or this module in the unbound get x, then you get the undefined, because you just call it, you didn't execute this, right? So it's initially written the undefined, but when we are binding it, that means it's now invoke, right? And you get the result after you calling this function. Okay, that's the case. So, and there you have it today. Call, apply, and bind are essential tool for controlling these in JavaScript. Remember, call is invoke immediately for the individual argument. Apply, it's also invoke immediately, but the array of arguments. Bind, return a new function. That's why it's not written the undefined, because it's not lose the context. But without bind, you lose the context. Okay, for bind, it actually return new function and permanent binding. Practice using this in your code, and you will become much more confident with the function context management. If this video helped you, smash the like button, subscribe for more JavaScript tutorial, and drop a comment if you have any question. See you in the next video, where we will explore arrow function and how they handle this differently. So happy coding.